On July 31st, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran, Iran, where he had been attending the new Iranian president's inauguration. In a statement, Hamas said Ismail was targeted in a treacherous Zionist raid on his residence in Tehran. According to reports, Ismail and one of his bodyguards were killed in the early hours after the building they were staying at was struck by an Israeli airstrike. However, the New York Times has reported that Ismail was killed by a bomb planted in the guest house he was staying in. The reports quoted 7 Middle Eastern officials, including 2 Iranians and an American official, confirming the matter and dispelling previous claims that the assassination was carried out by an airstrike. According to the report, the explosive device was smuggled into and hidden in the guest house run and protected by the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps in an upscale neighborhood in Tehran at least 2 months prior to the blast. The Israeli regime has yet to provide an official response to the matter. So, who was Ismail Haniyeh and what was his role in Hamas? Let's find out. Ismail was born in the Shati refugee camp in Gaza in 1962. His parents had fled from the city of Ascalon to the camp after the State of Israel was created in 1948. According to Al Jazeera, Ismail's early years were shaped by Israeli occupation. He was actively involved in the pro-Palestinian cause from his university days, and this continued after his graduation in 1987, with him joining Hamas in the same year when it was established during the first Palestinian Intifada. It was reported that Ismail was arrested by the Israeli military several times in the 1980s and spent 3 years in prison in 1989. Ismail climbed the ranks within Hamas in the 90s and secured his position as one of Hamas's political leaders within the following decade. In 2006, he served as Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority after leading Hamas to win the most seats in the parliamentary elections over the Fatah movement. Fatah had been in power for more than a decade before this. However, this was short-lived as Fatah and Hamas engaged in battles that led to the dismantling of their government in 2007 and his dismissal as prime minister. Hamas then took over the Gaza Strip, with Ismail leading the government. In 2017, he was appointed to his last position as the head of Hamas's political wing. Reuters reported that he then moved between Turkey and Qatar's capital, Doha, where he acted as negotiator during ceasefire talks or to talk to their ally, Iran. So why was Ismail assassinated and what led him to become a target? Ismail had previously escaped an assassination attempt by Israel in 2003 after he had risen in the ranks of Hamas. According to Al Jazeera, Ismail, along with Hamas's co-founder, the late Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, escaped an attack in 2003 by Israeli jets, which had bombed an apartment block in Gaza where they were meeting. Just over 2 decades later, on October 7, 2023, Hamas launched an attack in southern Israel, which had sparked the current war in Gaza. In response to the attack, Israel had pledged to kill Hamas leaders who they claimed were responsible, and this included Ismail. According to a report in the New York Times on August 2nd, while Israel has yet to publicly acknowledge responsibility for the killing, the country's intelligence officials have reportedly briefed the U.S. and other Western governments on the details of the operation immediately after the incident. Meanwhile, in May 2024, the International Criminal Court requested arrest warrants for 3 Hamas leaders, as well as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his defense chief for alleged war crimes. The court had claimed that they had reasonable grounds to believe that the 3 Hamas leaders were criminally responsible for the killing of hundreds of Israeli civilians during the attack. Ismail had previously been designated as a terrorist in 2018 by the U.S. Department of State under President Donald Trump. What did Malaysian leaders say about the assassination and what implications does it have for the war? Following Ismail's death, many have shared messages of condolences, including Malaysian politicians from both sides of the political divide who also condemned the assassination. This included Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who described the killing as a heinous murder. Anwar had said it was designed to derail the ongoing talks aimed at ending the carnage in Gaza that has claimed over 40,000 lives. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Muhammad Hassan said the assassination has huge implications for stability and peace. He told the Dewan Negara on August 1st that it has the threat of triggering a war in the Middle East.
Pembunuhan ini telah secara langsung menyumbang kepada de-escalation of the war dengan izin. Ia telah menjadikan prospek perang Gaza membarah dan mengheret pelbagai negara di Timur Tengah ke kancah peperangan. Semua ini akan menjadikan dunia berhadapan dengan krisis keselamatan global, Datuk Ketua, yang lebih meruncing dan seterusnya mengancam pertumbuhan dan kestabilan ekonomi dunia serta kesejahteraan manusiawi.
According to reports, Ismail played a key role in negotiations over a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deals. His assassination has raised doubts about Israel's intentions to halt the conflict, with Egypt and Qatar, which have been involved in mediating, warning that Ismail's killing would set back negotiations. Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed, who has helped lead the negotiations, questioned how mediation can succeed when one party assassinates the negotiator on the other side. He stressed that peace needs serious partners. Meanwhile, Iran's new president, Masoud Pezeshkian, said that Iran will defend its territorial integrity, honor, pride, and dignity. In a post on X, he said they will make the terrorist invaders regret their cowardly action. New developments to the story and the war in Gaza continues to come in daily. Stay tuned to Malaysia KINI and Kinitv for the latest updates on this and more. Help us to deliver content like this with a donation by scanning the QR code or clicking on the link below. Thank you for your support.